Good day, Jeff Kitzmiller here for your November 21st planning briefing. Valley rain and mountain snow take us to the end of the work week, and then looking at snow returning to many of the valleys during the weekend, but there's still some uncertainty on the timing of the switch back to snow depending on when the cold air arrives from the east. And then seeing higher confidence for impacts due to snow and wind in the glacier region. Here's our weather threat matrix. You can see the moderate impacts that we're at least calling for right now for snowy periods. Might see some higher impacts, maybe some smaller areas like the glacier region that see higher impacts, but still need a little bit more confidence on that. Here on the water vapor image, this is the infrared image showing the low pressure well off the coast and this big stream of atmospheric river that's been providing our moisture. That continues. Looking at the temperature trends, we see the valleys are getting a little bit warmer, at least a little more mild for the rest of today, Friday, and then maybe into Saturday. And then thereafter, seeing cooler temperatures. As for snow levels, they rise, been rising today, continue to rise through Friday, and then drop back down to valleys some point on Saturday. Right now, our forecast is still showing fairly high snow levels on Saturday, but northwest Montana and maybe especially north of I-90, a lot of question on when those snow levels are going to drop. Some snow ranges. You can see the valleys since we're just expecting rain pretty much for the rest of this until Saturday. The passes still have snow, especially seeing that kick back in later in the day on Friday and through Saturday. Here's a look at the biggest differences in the temperatures. So these brighter colors as we get to reds and purples show that the models have a wide range of temperature potential. And I put a couple boxes in here. So here's Highway 2 over near Essex to Marias Pass, where at 11 a.m. on Saturday, the range for temperatures, this is not even the lowest or the highest, but just kind of the 25th to 75th, most likely, showing that the temperature could be 23 or up to 32, somewhere in there. It doesn't really have too much of an impact as you get east of Kalispell on what the snow levels will do, but it will really impact the type of snow and if we get some wind. If we're at those warmer temperatures, it'll be a wetter snow, maybe lesser impact, but if we get these cooler temperatures, it'd be a lot more snow, transportable snow, and probably some wind. And when we look over to Kalispell and vicinity, that's where we're seeing that there's actually a pretty big impact between these differences. It could either be snowing or raining because of the differences of the timing of that cold air. So that Saturday morning is going to be pretty crucial, and it'll have a big part of how the snow amounts overall trend. And when we look at 5 p.m., there's still a pretty big difference where it could be really pretty chilly in the teens along Highway 2 or right around just below freezing. And again, it could still be snow if we have the 25th percentile verify, or it's 39 degrees at the 75th in a lot of this area here. So again, that Saturday is going to really tell how impactful this next weather system will be. Looking at the expected snowfall, this is 48 hours ending 5 a.m. on Sunday. The glacier region definitely stands out, where there's a pretty good indication of at least 6 inches of snow and then even a fair amount of area of 8 to 12. And that's just going kind of somewhat in the middle for the snow amounts. And then when we look at a lower end, definitely lower if the colder air stays more along the divide, then we have that more wet snow, and it would be more on that like 4 to 6, maybe some 8 inch, and not much showing up in the valleys. But then let's say this cold air is actually an earlier arrival and makes its way a little farther into our forecast area. That's a big difference on the snow amounts, where even around Kalispell, we're seeing a lot of 4 to 6 inch and maybe even some smaller areas of 8 inch. And then a lot heavier along Highway 2, where 12 to 18 inches stands out. We'll keep an eye on that and try to get a little bit more confidence, but right now the models are really quite split. Looking at the snow timing just a little bit more here for Marias Pass, really showing that big increase in snow from that Friday, Saturday, into Sunday. Same thing for Essex. Now, looking out a little bit farther for our Thanksgiving week travel plans, 6 to 10 day outlook, we're kind of on that edge of it. Could either be just normal or below normal on the precipitation through the 30th, and then calling for below average temperatures. Now, looking at that like following weekend following Thanksgiving, a little bit more indication of above normal temperatures or above normal precipitation and below normal temperatures. And when I look at the probability of us actually seeing less than zero, some colder air, there's about a 30 to 40% probability of that arriving around the 29th. So something to keep an eye out for as we start planning more of the travel time period and during Thanksgiving and afterward, because colder's trending a little bit more confident, and then we'll just have to see what the moisture does to see if we end up getting more of a snowier pattern. We'll do another recording on the 24th. If you have any questions, please let us know.